So you're thinking about moving to Cleveland, Georgia? Well, in today's video, we're going to discuss 10 pros and cons of living in Cleveland so you can determine if this is the best move for you. So grab a cup of coffee, a pen and paper, and pause the video whenever you need to, because we're going to cover a lot of information in today's video. And make sure you stay to the end of the video to hear all the pros and cons of living here in Cleveland so you can know exactly which side matters more for you and your family, your budget, and your lifestyle. So let's get into it. The first pro of living in Cleveland is the affordability of housing and the lower cost of living. And a lot of times people are looking at Cleveland because they want a larger house, they want more land, and they like to have views of the North Georgia mountains. And a lot of times they're asking themselves, can their budget really do it here? And the answer is yes. At the time of this video, according to my Effortless system, over the last 60 days, the median list price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home here in Cleveland was right around $349,000, and the sold price was right around $337,000. Also, you'll find that your property taxes here are much less compared to the metropolitan area, and with the larger lots, you get much more space between you and your neighbors. So when you buy a home here in Cleveland, you get much more bang for your buck. Where residents that live here, they trade walkability for larger yards and larger homes. If you're new here, my name is Matthew. I'm a real estate agent here in Georgia. Also moved to Georgia from Florida over 16 years ago, been loving it ever since. And also, we help individuals and families relocate here to Cleveland, Georgia, or one of the surrounding towns as your Georgia relocation team. And also on our channel, North Georgia Life, we cover everything there is to know about living here in North Georgia or one of the surrounding suburbs, including the best neighborhoods and things to do, so you get a really good idea what it's like living here. Make sure you subscribe down below to our channel so you'll be the first to learn about everything that's happening here in North Georgia. Also, by subscribing, it helps us out a lot and allows us to keep making videos like this for you. If you are considering moving to Cleveland, Georgia, or one of the surrounding towns, then go ahead, give us a call or shoot us a text. Our phone number is right here on the screen. Also, all our contact information is down in the description below. We'd love to help you make a smooth move here. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and give us a thumbs up. The second pro of living in Cleveland, Georgia is the small mountain town charm and also the strong sense of community here. Now, getting a larger house on a bigger piece of property is great value, but people really move here and stay here in Cleveland because how it feels to live here day after day. What you find when you live here in Cleveland is that when you go to your favorite coffee shop or your restaurant, people know you by your name and they know the type of food that you like to order. There are some small mountain towns here in North Georgia that do feel closed off, but not here in Cleveland. Newcomers tend to get connected and plugged in faster here. The historic square here in downtown Cleveland really offers that small mountain town charm that a lot of residents really enjoy, gives them opportunities to go to some of their local shops. There are a handful of restaurants in the downtown area. One of the taverns that we really enjoy going to is Old Clyde's Table and Tavern. It has some really great delicious food and a great atmosphere there. And relationships and connections are built here in Cleveland through the seasonal parades and festivals here on Main Street, or maybe one of the school events, and also going to the farmers market here at Freedom Park. So if you're searching for that small mountain town charm, and also that strong sense of community, you'll find it here in Cleveland. The third pro of living in Cleveland, Georgia is their public school districts, and according to niche.com, they gave Cleveland an overall grade of an A- for their public schools. And Cleveland, Georgia is in the White County School District, which has received several awards on innovation and student achievement. And as we always tell our buyers, make sure you check out third-party websites like schooldigger.com or niche.com to check out any school districts before purchasing a home. The fourth pro of living in Cleveland, Georgia is all the outdoor activities and the wineries. Cleveland is known as the gateway to the North Georgia mountains, with the Chattahoochee National Forest right at your doorstep. From downtown, you have Mount Yonan's 4.3-mile trail, which is a doable hike for most families. And just north of you of Cleveland, you have a quick drive to Helen, where you can go to Yonah State Park to really enjoy some outdoor activities, lake-like activities, fishing, and also zip lining. And you can end your day at one of the many vineyards and wineries here in Cleveland, like the Cottage Vineyards and Winery, where you can enjoy some beautiful scenic views of the North Georgia mountains with a nice glass of wine. The fifth pro of living in Cleveland, Georgia is that you're close enough to popular destinations and what you need. So when you live in Cleveland, Gainesville, Georgia is your go-to hub for shopping, dining, and a wider job market. Also, you got the Northeast Georgia Medical Center, which really covers your major healthcare system and any specialists, which is only about a 30-minute drive from Cleveland. If you do have to drive into the city of Atlanta, maybe go to the airport or maybe go into a Falcon football game, During off-peak times, it can take you up to 90 minutes to get there, but during peak times, it can take you up to 2 hours. But if you're looking for some quick local fun, like going over to Helen, it's roughly 20 minutes to get there. Also, if you want to go over to Dahlonega, maybe going to the Gold Rush Festival, it's about a 30-minute commute. So the people that live in Cleveland that are remote workers, maybe they're retirees or part-time commuters, really benefit Cleveland the most because they can keep their life local, but also they can go to some of these major hubs like Gainesville, Georgia, or maybe down to the city of Atlanta when needed, and also during non-peak times. The first con of living in Cleveland, Georgia is the limited shopping and dining options here. So if you're looking for fine dining or maybe a late night snack, finding in Cleveland could be a stretch. The choices here in town after dark are pretty limited, and many kitchens close by 9 p.m. So you do have a small circle of restaurants right here in the downtown area, but if you're looking for more variety, most of the residents drive over to Gainesville. It's the same story with the shopping here, and also you do have a handful of grocery stores like Ingles Market right here in Cleveland. So the people that live here really plan around it. They batch their errands once or twice a week. They hit Gainesville for their big shopping days, and also keep their weekends simple. So if this rhythm fits your lifestyle, this con can become manageable. The second con of living in Cleveland, Georgia is the fewer local job opportunities here. So the question you have to ask yourself, if I move to Cleveland, can I build a career without leaving town? And here in Cleveland, the jobs run small and local. Most of the job sector here in Cleveland are in the school district, retail, hospitality, and mom and pop shops. So if you're looking for a higher paid job, they're very limited here. But if you're willing to commute, you have more opportunities over in Gainesville, Georgia, or down to the city of Atlanta, because you have more healthcare sectors there, logistics, manufacturing, and also higher paying jobs. So who wins there in Cleveland's employment market? It's the remote workers who work from home, entrepreneurs who like low overhead, and the retirees looking for part-time work. The third con of living in Cleveland, Georgia is that your lifestyle is car dependent and you drive a lot, because here in Cleveland, most of your days are driving your car because there's no real public transportation options. So commuting to work, running errands, and picking up your kids at school are all part of life here. Also, it takes a lot longer to get around Cleveland because two-lane roads are more common here. If you are moving to Cleveland from urban living, then expect to drive more often. But what residents learn here is to find certain routes that they can take during off-peak times to avoid traffic. The fourth con of living in Cleveland, Georgia is limited access to major healthcare system. Now here in Cleveland, you do have urgent care, family practice, and a couple of specialists. But if you really need a variety of different specialists, that's where the gaps appear here in Cleveland. So if you're looking for more specialists, those are found over in the Gainesville, Georgia area at the Northeast Georgia Medical Center. And for those of you who need to do routine visits to your specialists, you should plan for at least a 30 to 40 minute drive to get there from Cleveland, and sometimes even longer during peak times. So if you're okay with commuting over to the Northeast Georgia Medical Center over in Gainesville, you'll have access to a really large healthcare system without having to travel into the city of Atlanta traffic. The fifth con of living in Cleveland, Georgia is that you'll experience more crowds and traffic during the seasonal tourist times. During fall time is one of the seasonal times you'll have more traffic and crowds. So if you're planning a quick trip maybe over to Helen because you want to see some beautiful leaves change, or maybe you're going over to Oktoberfest, one thing you just have to be aware of is that your travel time will probably take twice as long, and also you'll experience more crowds and more lines. So many locals adjust their times when they go over to Helen, maybe to go out shopping or take some nice scenic drives to the North Georgia mountains to avoid crowds, and also they take some back roads to avoid bottlenecks and traffic. So does the pros of living in Cleveland, Georgia outweigh the cons for you, your budget, and your lifestyle? If so, give us a call, shoot us a text. Our phone number is right here on the screen. We'd love to help answer any questions you might have and help you every step of the way as your Georgia relocation team. Also, if you're still in research mode and you'd like more information about Cleveland, then watch this map tour of Cleveland that I created for you here on the screen. And until next time, as we always say on our channel, North Georgia Life, we make the world a better place, one person, one family, one investor at a time, through the power of real estate.